That's right, y'all. This is the hand of a girl who's been playing for 4 days. Hey guys, good morning. I just scratched my leg. I have so many bruises. I keep bumping into things, but there we are. So it's early morning. Well, it's actually already 7:45. I was down looking at my paints, trying to switch them up a little bit. But first water. Trying to get 10 ounces in. But y'all. So good. So yeah, so today's Monday, which is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. I don't really know the story behind Labor Day. I should Google it. Or I don't remember it, probably, is more accurate. You know, some of my videos have been made private. I don't know how it happened, y'all, and I got to check that. But I was like, why is nobody's commenting? No. Anyway, yes. So on Mondays, I work 11:45 to 8. So today, I'm keeping that schedule. I get to play until, I got to shower, get dressed, and get to work, right? But normally I have to leave early, but we're going to start at 11:30. So I have until then to play. And then I am going to blitz the living room, and any art supplies that I'm not used or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and take downstairs. We're going to go through the stuff I'm letting go of. There's some cards and stuff. There's a couple shelves of stuff I want to take out and go through with y'all, because I want to, what I've been sorting, I want that to go up. So yeah, so that's what's going to be going on. Maybe a little laundry. Yeah, that's what's happening, you guys. And then I'm going to leave my arts, I have this tray over here. I'm going to make it work for me. I want to go through, I want to start going through that stuff. And a lot of it just needs to go down to my library. I don't need as many stationary things. Y'all, I blow dry my hair today. Yes, I am. Anyway. So I am going to start the second class, and I think I'm going to go through ones that I have everything and really spoke to me. And then I want to try, there's a couple that are challenging, but I want to go ahead and do the ones that I know right now I'm going to enjoy and that I have things for and kind of in my wheelhouse. But you guys, how can you see this and not be happy? I can't tell you how much I love this. How much fun this doodling is. And then cutting it up. I mean, it is so much fun. I'm going to do a collage. I love these the best. I'll probably end up using that a lot in collage. And what this is was spray inks, y'all. Those spray inks are wild. So I got to think about them. And I should use a mask. And I should use gloves. And somebody was using a glove on one hand, their painting hand. And I get it. If she's painting 8 hours a day, she's mixing paint, it's not 1 or 2 times that you're going to get affected, but it's day after day after day. You start building up. But this was just spray inks on white paper. And I just wrote a bunch of words. Black. Whoa. And some of these have another side. But really I can't tell you the joy and how creating for me doesn't have to be a spread, as we would call it. But look at this one. I just love it. It's my own handwriting. So yeah, and I'm going to start incorporating a lot of pictures. Again. So, makes me happy. So get ready for some decluttering. But I've done a really good job. Again, when you're in the forest, it gets dark. You hear sounds, and there's sometimes not the most pleasant smells, and it can be damp and raw, and as you walk you hear snaps and you're just like, what was that? It's the internal forest that I'm in. I'm in the internal forest. Maybe on my towel, I'm gonna write a book. I am, one day. And if anyone reads it or it gets published, not my problem, then I'm gonna write it. But maybe it could be called The Internal, How to Survive and Thrive in the Internal Forest. Y'all, I'm good at naming things. I'm excellent at naming things. You don't want me to name you your car? You put on Instagram what it looks like and I'll come up with a name. So, I have no idea what the temperature is going to be today, but I will be on my treadmill for today. I just have so much I want to accomplish in a day, or not accomplish, maybe I'm moving away from that, but experience. And I'm thinking, you know, you want your kitchen clean because you want to experience an organized, clean kitchen. Not that you have to clean your kitchen, but that's why you do it. So, yeah, in my art studio, I've come so far, and I haven't really brought y'all because, one, I'm in the moment of like, just, if you just want to watch me, boom, boom, boom. And I feel I feel like I'll be judged because I'm judging myself, right? Y'all, whether you judge me or not, at the end of the day, it's about how I feel. And yeah, so I need to work on that because I know y'all would love it. And I know, like I said, there's so many things that a lot of these cool teachers, you know, and I connected with some differently than others. And why you just feel a connection with someone. And I'm so glad you feel that with me because it's real, you know. I really felt connected to some of these teachers. Oh, my Jane Chip, you guys. Love Jane Chip. I can hardly wait to do her spread. So it saves you my hack and a cough. And God, it's terrible when it goes down the wrong way. But yeah, so I can't remember the name of this teacher. She's from Canada. She's lovely. Woo! And you guys. But she kind of starts off, now these are not exactly the same. But pale olive and don't know. So these are, I brought up a different kinds of paints, different viscosities. Is that the word? Yeah, viscosities. Just whip that out. Anyway, she starts with something like this. I just want to kind of follow her a little bit. Because I really want to work on my sense of putting different colors together. I meant to bring up my color wheel too. There's something in my brain that just fights it. But I got to play, experiment, and I'll learn what works, what doesn't work, what I like, what I don't like. But yeah. So that's it. Just saying hello. And I have stuff to make some taco meat for the next couple days. And I have a bag and a half left. So I'll finish my one salad today and I'll have some salad. So I might have a little taco salad. And so we're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, y'all. Okay. And I'm off Saturday and Sunday. So we won't think about buying food until then. But I might just live on vegetables, frozen vegetables from the Joe's. And I have some chicken. You know what? I have some chicken. And I got those separated ones from Trader Joe's. They work the best for me. But I could do that. And I have some kind of peppers that are, you know, guys, crunchy. So I can throw all that. Yeah, y'all have to write this down or I will literally not remember it. And you know what? I'm okay with that right now. Well, some chicken fajitas. Today, I'm going to have the last of my boiled eggs. My boiled eggs. Like I said, I ended up buying 3 things, maybe 4 from Amazon that I really end up not needing. So I got to get those ready to return. But I don't think I'm going to the thrift store today. I think it's going to be hot. I don't want to go when it's hot because we're coming into good weather. Just wait till Saturday morning. That's fine. But get my car filled up, y'all. And so if everything I'm taking out today, I'll pack up and put my 4-year and I'll zoom by with my car, put it in my car. Because you never know. Tomorrow I might think, oh, I got 20 extra minutes. Let me go by. You know, the Salvation Army is between here and work. There's a Goodwill up north, so I would go there on a day off. And then I'm going to go in my garage and pull vintage papers. Jane Chip loves. I don't have a lot of handwritten letters, stuff like that. Y'all send me your old vintage hand letters thing. It's a beautiful script. But I have a lot of books that have old paper in it. So I want to go and just get like a sampling of that. I started a Jane Chippish little folder. And but I'll have to show you the green that I'm looking for right now. But yeah, so hers, I think I'll take you with me when I do that class. I just love it. And honestly, I think it's something anyone could do. And it's a way of using your old family photos. Y'all send me your old little family photo. I tell everyone I know, hey, like I went through, not all of ours, but a lot. And who's this person? My brother doesn't know who it is. I don't know who it is. By the time we're gone and my niece and nephew have it, they're sure as heck don't even have any kind of context for it. So I'm pulling all those out to use in my art. What a better way to honor them than end up at a thrift store somewhere, if not in a landfill. So y'all. And then next Sunday, Beverly's going to come for her birthday. So, yeah. I haven't seen her. But that's what's happening, y'all. I plan on having a great day. I do. An even day. Not a wild day. But I do have a few hours in me. I'm moving stuff around. Release. And, you know, it's interesting because sometimes I think, oh, I want that. But really, seeing people's studios, seeing what little they worked with, you know, that I want that to be, you know, I have so many paints. Like my goal is a year from now to have gone through a lot of my paint. I'm not saying if I see someone use a color that just like, they might not get it, but I will say this, there were 2 crayons and these are, these are called, and people have different ones, different names. So basically, it's a watercolor crayon. They're Neocolor Crayon d'Arche, I guess. Anyway, this woman had one called Black Olive, which I loved. And then there's another like vermilion, like a patina green. That's going to be my new obsession, y'all. Anyway. And, you know, and people were showing different ways of using art supplies I already have. So that was exciting, you guys. I'm just, so. An even killed day, a little meditation today. I took many breaks and just kind of breathed and trying to connect with myself and build up some energy that way, right? Like like how do I, it's like an ebb and a flow, right? Like you expend energy and you need to quiet down and let the energy come back. So I'm really working on meditation and breathing, y'all, because the anxiety I have is insane. But breathing. Let's all have a breath. Now, when I went to grief counselor, actually, I should just have a little introduction because I have new people. Yay, y'all. Yay, thank you. And those of you who just say that, you know, enjoy me or they feel connected, you know, it's so interesting because these teachers, to me, on one level, look, wow, they got it together. They're making a living being artists. And you just feel like the tendency is like their life's better than mine. Though now I challenge all that. But they were just so excited when people thanked them or, you know, really want to see people's artwork. And, you know, they want to connect. And really, like she said, one teacher, this is about connection for me. This is about me, like-minded, part of my tribe, or just people who are on a journey, different, you know. So for me, that's the fun of my channel, is getting to know people and getting to, you know, and having, you know, not everyone influences you, and I can be very influenced, but then later I'm, you know, life's like that. But anyway, welcome. My name's Tracy. I have always lived at a Mermaid Cove. I named my mom and I's house in Arizona. And all my address labels had Mermaid Cove and drove my mother crazy. Honestly, it wasn't just because of that, but like I name things. And my friend Angela, she had a farmhouse. It was called Blueberry Hills. And because wild blueberries grew up on the hill. Y'all, come on. It's not that hard to name things. And then Angela, who's gone now, it's been a really tough year. It's been over a year. Yeah. She was, one of my best friends for 30 years. And I'm going to cry. And, she's older and helped me. I lost my mom. So let's backtrack. So before the pandemic, my mom died unexpectedly, and 4 months of hell, literally. It was like October, November, or like middle of September, and she died at the end of January. So it was hell. I won't even get into that. It's a whole nother story. But the pandemic happened, and, I've lived with my mother most of my life. I think I snuck away for like 3 or 4 semesters in college. But we were best friends, and we lived together, and, I've always sort of taken care of her my whole life, really, since my parents separated, and I was like 11. So it was hard. It was huge. And, there's a lot of parts of me that haven't grown up, and, you get kind of stuck that, yeah, you're sort of the adult sometimes, but, so part of your growth gets stunted, right? And sometimes I'm getting angry or I have like a tantrum coming on. I'm like, okay, how old are we right now? Like, what happened? Like, what's going on? So pandemic starts, and I'm not a news person because my nervous system gets upset. I'm an empath, and very intuitive, have a spidey sense. But I can't listen to tragedy and terrible things and go to sleep and sleep well. I can't. That's not who I am. And other people, whatever, love it or immune to it. I really don't know. Can compartmentalize. I can barely say the word, much less do it. My friends and I were texting literally all night. Y'all remember how it was. It was terrifying. I had my friend Angela, and Beverly, who... Beverly has autoimmune stuff, and Beverly and Angela was older, so I'm grocery shopping. This is before masks and all this stuff, right? You didn't know I'm up at 7 in the morning at the on Sundays getting groceries, and it was really stressful and hard. And you didn't know, like, we were at work for 2 weeks. Like, are we going to close? Are we not going to close? So it was just a constant stress, And then when are we going back to work? What do we do? It was crazy, y'all, crazy. So I was talking to my doctor. And I said, I feel like I'm having a breakdown. She goes, here's what we're going to do. Number 1, no more news. Like, your friends no texting, no look, you turn your phone off at night, and your friends will text you if there's new news. Other than that, no. Second was to get outside, whether I'm walking in my backyard, sitting in the sun. Luckily, we started in spring, right? That I had to go outside for some part of the day. And the third was I needed to find something to do to engage my brain that I've never done. Like she said, why don't you learn a language? Why don't you just something like that? Well, I'd always wanted to do a YouTube channel. I always felt like I was on TV. My mom and I would go thrifty, and I'd pretend like we were hosts of a show. Been doing this for a long time. She would laugh. Or my little QVC kind of host thing. Yeah, it was fun to make my mom laugh. I have my dad's sense of humor. So, and I lost my dad when I was 17. So my mom, I was 50. I don't know, y'all, 55, 56. I can't. It's almost like, no, maybe 54. It's almost, yeah, I go through stages where it's just hard to talk about. I feel like I'm at one of those. But anyway, so I always wanted to do a YouTube channel. So my friend Michelle, she made one for herself so she could help me make one. Isn't that amazing? So, she's a big crocheter. And so she was doing these things about her Aldi. This girl makes a meal plan, buys exactly what she needs at the Aldi, comes home, makes that food. Fascinating. But it was a lot of work. Now, I don't edit. And, like, I tell you the prices of food. People like to put it in and have little airplanes and all that. You know what? I can't. I don't have time. I'll never get anything up. Never get anything up. So I'm old school, right? You're not going to see production value. And that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be, right? I started off with like Dollar Tree hauls, Trader Joe's hauls. Love them. Love both so much. Still like Love them. Dollar Tree have I'm really working on decluttering. So I will say this, it's going to be rare I buy another sign or a tchotchke or anything plastic from the Dollar Tree. But junk journaling, art supplies, or y'all, someone's sending me socks. I can hardly wait. I got to go to the mailbox and double check it. I did not go Saturday. Okay. Can't wait to show you what she sent me. I'm so excited. But I do. There's a part of me I love stuff, right? But I also know I'm not giving up all my stuff, but I need to declutter. Like, I have my mom and I lived together for most of my life, so our things are intertwined, right? Like her clothes and stuff like that. I knew that, and we had a relationship with the food bank, so I knew all the medical supplies, everything like that. I even had a chair stair that Angela bought me. Y'all, that chair stair. Everyone's like, keep it. I'm like, y'all, I am 50-something years old. I do not need a chair stair. I don't. They're expensive. I think we got some of the money back because my mom did use it once. And she was so grateful. And but it can be fun. I was sending my laundry up and groceries up. But anyway, stuff like that I got rid of. But just dishes. And, I've been going through, I gave a lot of things to my friends. I gave a lot of cookbooks. I've been kind of still going through it. And now I really, I need a roommate. I change this. I'd love to have a roommate. Be a huge challenge in my life. And I do think there's a blessing there that I'm blocking by not getting one, but also the money. I need to have the extra cash. I think I have, my budget is like $400 more a month, and my salary did not go up $400 a month, y'all. How does that work? So, yeah. And so I started the channel and really loved it. And one of the ways, I have a couple friends that live in different states, and so it's a way also of I don't know, connecting with them. And my friend Mimi, who was, a lot of it I did from Mimi, because she always wanted to see what I was doing, what was I getting. And Mimi was my age, and yeah, I've had so much loss. I know so many of you have. We have that in common. Whether you had as much loss as I've had in the last couple years, or just through your life, or one person. Just one person. It's just horrible. But I lost Mimi to cancer a couple years ago. I still can't believe it, because she's my age, super healthy, but so much fun and twisted, and I just smart, one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life. So I'm losing all these people, and but Mimi, I would send her stuff in the mail, and she liked to see what I was buying, and so a lot of it I did for her too. We love to thrift and do stuff like that and be creative, and so that's kind of the genesis of it. And I think kind of I chose, like, I'm just going to do Trader Joe's. Y'all, I cannot compete with the Dollar Tree people because they go every day. I mean, that's their job, right? Oh my God, I can't go every day. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to go every day. I wouldn't mind going a couple times a week, but it's fun to see. And I was definitely compulsively shopping because it was just nightmarish, right? And, but I still have some stuff in the vault that I might go ahead and show. I need to clear up my phone. But tech, I'm not a tech person. Y'all, if I mean, I can now edit a little better than I could, and I have an opening, y'all. And I was using something from Microsoft, and that wouldn't work anymore on my computer. It was just a terrible thing. I had this really cute opening, but you need to adapt, right? Adapt and change, adapt and change. So, and I've got more. I would like to learn some more stuff, but I'd rather film and put up than wait until I have it a certain way. Because otherwise I don't get things done, right? A lot of us in this week, I just took a weekend art retreat, and a lot of us were talking, and a lot of the teachers, about being a perfectionist. And I think for me is, I don't think you change being a perfectionist, because that's your thoughts, right? And you really can't control your thoughts. I sometimes, I think I've come to the conclusion that if I was thinking something, I felt like I was a loser, or like, I don't know what the words are, y'all, but this is what I like to do, is share stuff and talk about it. It's talking about me, it helps me in my brain. It's like group therapy. So, and right now I have ADHD and dyslexia and a few other things, and the medicine's not working correctly. You couldn't get Adderall, so it's been a bad year. It's been a really challenging year, hard year. How do I know it's bad? It feels bad. But I have great stuff. Like I met all you guys, and I get to do this. YouTube is truly one of the best gifts I've given myself. When I started, it was really, I needed to learn something. I thought it was fun to show what I'm buying. And I just wish my mom had done it with my mom. You guys would just have flipped out over my mother. We would be viral. I probably have 9 million because my mom, she's that kind of person. Oh, gosh, my brain's everywhere, y'all. Okay. ADHD. And I'm struggling, and that's a lot. It's you know, in some ways, not having the medicine work. Now, one, you can't get it. I found it. I can't even tell you on here what I did to find it. You won't even imagine. So, but they come from different manufacturers, and I don't know if you have drugs that you can experience that with. You look, every time it's I can tell by the pill when I look at it if it's going to be good or not. And this one's just not working the right way. But I think the gift of this has been that a true understanding that I have ADHD. And you kind of think, oh, yeah, I have ADHD. It's kind of funny. Oh, yeah, I can't get anything done. No, it's a serious thing. And it's really changed the course of my life. And coming to terms with that and being, understanding it. And because you really, when you have ADHD, you find ways of coping that you don't even know, right? But people, a lot of oh, you're lazy. If you would just try harder. You know what? My mom would say to me, she would say, Tracy, you do try hard. Now, she always thought and I would say in the last 10 years, a therapist diagnosed me. And she'd be like, right, you're ADHD. Oh, Lord, am I ADHD? So that's sort of been the gift, when you try to look for gifts. This horrendous. I mean, really, I can't. It's hard. And I feel good because I'm talking to y'all and trying to pull myself out of it. So I tend to isolate. And, that's isolation, isolating yourself. You can be among 100 people and be isolated. But for me, it's very dangerous. And it's very much what I used to do. And it's so interesting because one of the good things about social media is you can pick and choose. And I follow some really interesting things about ADHD, psychology, childhood trauma. And now I have really great parents, but they were messed up. All parents are, right? And, one of the things that if you isolate when you're upset or stressed or depressed, it's probably because your needs weren't met as a child. And that's what you did. And thinking about that now, okay, I want to change that. I want that to be different. So that's part of what evolved on my channel. I thought I just can't do Trader Joe's and Dollar Tree or shopping, right? I can't. I can't. So it evolved into me talking, and then, I lost my cat and, started losing people. And it just seemed like I had no choice. I had to do it. And thank God I had it to do it with, right? I don't know where I'd be right now, y'all. I really don't. So, and I've struggled with my weight my whole life. I've had the surgery, gastric bypass, where they make your stomach smaller. And I really am about 100 pounds lighter. Yep. And, the thing is you age and your body's So I really, in theory, would like to be 40 pounds lighter. But I've been yo-yoing, right? In the same 5 pounds. And the Adderall not working has been a struggle. So yeah. So I want to do intermittent fasting. I really do. I want to be gluten-free. And the minute I put a restriction, my brain goes wild. And will do everything in its power to have that not happen. When you're younger, and I grew up, my dad was in the military, I went to military doctors. And it was always my fault. You have to exercise more and eat less. Well, that, y'all, just does not how bodies work. And honestly, I dieted my way up. And food became a form of control. People try to control me, and I'd be like, no, I'm going to have this. So it became not about nourishing my body or that kind of thing, really. It became almost politicized in some ways. Really weird. My mom was always pretty good about it because she knew how hard I tried. I really did. And you guys, there's this, and everyone's overweight or underweight for all kinds of different reasons, right? Medication, But I will say this, when I had the surgery, there is a hormone, there's two hormones, ghrelin, I'm not sure if I've ever said that right, and leptin. Ghrelin tells you when you're done eating, you're full, and leptin tells you you're hungry. So when you have most of your stomach removed, for me, ghrelin goes, you don't have it anymore. And I literally never thought about food, was not hungry. The only thing that changed was my stomach was smaller, right? There's no other miracle cure, but that hormone was gone, comes back. But I think eventually you'll have something, God knows what the side effects will be, of trying to regulate that better. And I don't know, did I always have that? I think, I can remember being a kid eating and worried about what I'm going to eat next, or, how am I going to come back later and get some. So I think that's something strange, and to know that it was biological. Now you heap up all kinds of other stuff on it, but the bottom line for me, it was biological. That, and I had a grandmother who made me all kinds of yummy stuff. And so my fat cells were nice and juicy early on. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge, really is a challenge. Now, I have not put on the weight back, which is really good. I'm about 10 years out maybe now. But for my own needs and health, I'm working on it. But I have to figure out a way almost to trick myself. Like, we're not restricting. No, because literally we'll go. Michelle and I did Noom in the beginning of the pandemic. And because, I was so upset and nervous, I didn't eat. I lost weight. Because I literally, when I get beyond stressed, I think I lost 20 pounds when my mom was sick. So there is actually a space where I am not hungry and will not eat. It supersedes any of my biological needs. But we tried Noom and she lost weight. She's kept it off, and I immediately was like, I started putting on weight because it's a thing. But I know this about myself. So yeah, I just think for health, I'd rather not. So I'm trying not to eat past 8 o'clock. I got to have my coffee. So we'll see. But in a minute, I'm like, my brain's like, what? Would you just, what? What? No. So anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so that is kind of like what has been going on. I love art. I always have since I was a kid. I cut and color, and I love to redo magazine pages kind of thing. So it's always been a part of my life. Paper dolls, y'all. Goodbye. I'm gone with my paper dolls. And my dad always he had a great imagination. Like, we would lay and look at clouds and come up with stories. And so I've always had creative influences around me. And I kind of go in and out, but buying art supplies and making art are two different things. And playing in art for your soul is different than feeling like you have to create something that makes sense. So it's a journey, y'all. It's a journey. And I have amazing art supplies. But what happened is I'm like super organized person. But then the chaos. And it used to be summer and winter. Like summer, everything. I had energy. Boom, boom, boom. If I need to, I'd lose a little weight. And then winter would come and it's totally different. My brain is different. So when my mom died, I just started heaping stuff, right? Her stuff, just in my studio, my library. So this is about digging out. So, and it's about, okay, really understanding. And it was interesting this weekend, and it was a free art retreat. There's so many free things right now on Instagram, you guys. Check it out. It's amazing. And yeah, they have this Wanderlust Live. It's a year-long thing. I did sign up because it was under $100, which is a good deal for, I don't know how many teachers you get. 49 weeks. Each week is a different lesson with a different teacher. So I'm very excited about that. But a lot of people are talking about art supplies and this and that. And, it's two different functions. So I did end up, like, I couldn't find my heat gun. And my heat gun is probably 20 years old, y'all. I found it. I'm returning the new heat gun. It's fine. It breaks. I'll get a new one. I had ordered this paper for this one class I'm taking, and it said the right inches, but it's not. So that's going back. And then ordered watercolor paintbrushes because I could not find mine that I did. I found them. They're going back. So I'm really, but it is, watching this, there's like, ooh, wait a minute, what was that? I don't have that. And I'm really trying to control that and make it a treat and not like, okay, I want that, I'm going to order it. Because one, Even if I were a billionaire, I don't want to live like that. I don't, I really don't. And, but financially, I need to make better choices, different choices. So that's what's going on with that, but it is exciting, and trust me. So I'm sharing the joy. Now, I've been donating, those of you who've been around a while, my mom we found a local food bank, and the woman who ran it, Jo, oh my God, we just all fell in love. We just clicked, and she was a connection. She knew my mom, and so she just passed away, and like, I don't know, not even a month and maybe 5 weeks ago. And it always helped me when I was sorting, like, oh, Jo will get this to someone who can use it right now. Boom, gone. Oh, Jo would like this, and she walked the walk, and like they, I don't know, her husband's probably retired and has something, but her whole life was this, like, it was her calling. She worked through a Catholic church, and it was her calling, and you could feel it. So their refrigerator broke down, someone donated one, that kind of thing. Really walking the walk, talking the talk, right? And but she loved art and card making, so I would always, when I come across stuff, give it to her. I think my last batch, I'd found all this scrapbook paper, and I kept some, but I gave most to her, and she was so thrilled. So that's hard right now, y'all. This is very challenging. I gotta let that go and know that the right person will get it. And even if it goes to the Goodwill or Salvation Army and they charge for it, somebody's finding something at a price they can afford. But it's a huge shift, and especially art stuff. And I would like to deep dive and see if there's so for now, as I go through art stuff, I'm going to keep it in my garage, and I do want to find, if I can, an organization. We're going to see, because I can't overwhelm myself. And I took, right now, okay, and then y'all go, if you want to go back, I had mice in my garage. I can't even go into it, but there's many videos on it, and probably under decluttering. But you know what? It was the wildest coincidence, because I'd been out literally without Adderall. Miracle happened. I got some 30 days. The day I got it and put it in my body, I had taken my car in, and they're like, you have mice in your car. Do you know this? I'm like, I mean, literally, when you get the chill bumps through your head, it was like that for weeks. I went back, and y'all, again, there's so much organization in my garage, but I've just been piling stuff, right? And I love books. I work in a library. You can get, books for 25 cents to $1. So I have a lot of books. But mice had made some decisions for me, but I got rid of them. I'm so proud. And all kinds of things came together, and the energy was there, and I did it. So I feel differently now because my brain is not functioning on that level. But it's functioning. I'm alive. So I'm really blitzing my house now. Now, the first floor, I would like to be more neutral for a roommate, right? So have a room, a bedroom, a bathroom upstairs of their own, and then, access to the kitchen and that kind of thing. So I'm working on that, and I've done a lot. But my art studio, I probably will not, y'all, have my kitchen table like this, right? So I need to get my art space more comfortable, and I'm working on it. And honestly, I could sit down there and work right now, and that was my goal for this weekend. But I like the light here better. I need to get, what do you call, okay, you'll know. Let me see if I can turn this thing. Hold on, y'all, anyway, let me do this. Sorry. See those light bulbs? What are those called? Because I need them to be brighter in my, so I need them brighter in my studio will help. I need better lighting. But that's it. That's just a little bit of me right now. A lot more going on than that. And but just a little bit of sharing, trying to figure out how to grow myself up, y'all. I think, I mean, maybe I'm getting close to 20. Does that mean I can start dating? A 7-year-old didn't want to date. But not today. And even like I think, well, how can I date someone come in my house? Looks like I'm a crazy person. And, it's interesting. I have cleaners. One of the best things my mom and I ever did, we had no money. We did not go out to eat. We got cleaners because let's just say we all had, it saved our relationship. And I've been hanging on to it. And I went to every 3 weeks and then just hadn't had her. Partly because I was like, well, how are they going to clean? There's literally, I have stuff pulled everywhere. But I had them come Friday, and there's a new woman I've been with this lady, Sophia, for like 30 years, maybe. And again, another connection to my mother. She said to me, your mom could be a bitch. I know. I do know. My mom would put out things to see if they've caught them, to clean them. Anyway, nobody's paying me to clean, so. But there's a new woman. So Sophia's Brazilian, and a lot of the people that work with her are Central American. But so there's a new woman, Brazilian, working with her, and just lovely. So we could talk, right? Her English was great. And, you know, she said to me, you have such fun. She was like, just as a cozy house. And like, it makes me happy. And I thought, yeah, see, people aren't judging me like I'm judging myself. But I do know that there's, like I said, my mom and I were huge thrifters. My mom loved thrifting a little bit more than I did. And you know, you're thrifting, you want to buy something, right? At least back then. And what I've come to understand is, don't buy some like Cops. I'm going through my wardrobe. We're going to do a huge hit this fall and winter, but don't buy something because it's the best thing there that day. If you don't feel good in it, it doesn't look good on you, you're not comfortable. Don't buy it because it's $1.99 and it's some horrible green that you're never going to wear. I don't, the psychology of that. But we did that. And then a lot of tchotchkes. Oh my God, dishes and dishes and dishes. Now I've let go of a lot and I'm getting ready to blitz some more, y'all. I want to open a drawer and be able to see what I need. I want to be able to pull out a plate and not feel like everything's falling. And I've been working on this. So it's like an onion. It's like a layer. But, so yeah, so I just think I want, first floor, it's not like I'm going to get rid of everything I love, but I want it to be more neutral and really things that I love. And I'm like, oh, look, if I did a show and tell, look at this kind of thing. And let the marginal stuff go, right? So I'm working on it. Been doing a good job, I think. And the art's different, but I need to organize. I need to contain it. So I took a bunch of stuff out to the garage. So now my garage looks not crazy like it did, but it's cluttered and I don't like it. So that's good. So I need to get in there. The minute the weather's good, y'all, we're going in there and we're blitz. So yeah, so that's where I am. A lot of decluttering, y'all. And it's really not about the stuff, right? It's about the emotion behind the stuff and understanding, forgiving, letting go, not judging. And that's just not the easiest thing. And my mom, when she would go grocery shopping, she had a list, but she'd buy, oh, this is on sale or less. So we would have like, literally when she died, I'm not kidding you, I had 30 boxes of Jell-O because you couldn't see them. So I'm trying to undo that habit. You know, food is so expensive and I've had to get rid of so much because I can't eat it all. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. So right now I'm decided, you know, I make rules. Okay. There was a class with this lady. It was called about no rules art. And she goes, think of a rule you have in your head. Where did it come from? Like my rule is going to be, you can't buy any meat or you have to eat everything in the freezer. Well, really? I work hard. I have food issues. Like, really? I can't buy hamburger? So I'm trying to let go of all that really nonsense. And this weekend was really good for me because there's so many people who are just like me, right? And that's why I like to share. We're all more alike than we're not. And maybe your thing isn't food or clutter. Maybe it's something else, right? So it's the motion behind it, right? How does it come out? So I would go through, if I was really on point, eating healthy, working out, then maybe my shopping was out of control, or if my shopping was or maybe I wasn't shopping, but I was eating or sleeping or whatever. So it's like a tentacle. So I'm just trying to get to a calmer center and understand all of this is just manifestation of what's going on within me. And that just wants to be healed, right? And I have all kinds of ideas how to heal it and been reading books since, I think when my dad died, I was 17. That's a whole nother story, y'all. I can't even. The trauma and ridiculousness and the story behind that, geez. Like all my college money was taken. I mean, really crazy stuff. And plus, I don't know. My dad promised me he wasn't dying. It's another story. So when someone who loves you the most in the world lies, even though, you know, as a kid, I mean, you know, he didn't want to die, so it has issues wrapped around it. But his best friend had given me his wife. When Bad Things Happen to Good People by Harold Kushner. If you have not read that, I highly recommend it. I should reread that. Plus, I'm a bookworm, y'all. I have thousands of books I want to read. Anyway, well, 10,000. So put me on all kinds of painful shit was happening, like stuff beyond and I was a very naive human being. And I just had a lot of trauma, but so it saved my life. It made me think, oh my God, it's not about me. Like, oh my God. Like, I didn't even everyone wanted me to be okay most of my life, right? If Tracy's okay, it's okay. And so I could pretend, oh yeah, I'm okay. Meanwhile, I'm bleeding everywhere, right? I just don't want anyone to see it. So, like I said, one of my things is okay not to be okay, right? Because it's exhausting pretending to be okay. And then you don't trust yourself, right? How do I really feel? You know, it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to feel bad. It's not okay to be angry because I have to be happy, Tracy, right? What a bunch of nonsense. Don't do that to your children. And on top of it, my parents loved me more than anything on the planet. Me and my brother. And my dad and I had a really unique relationship because he did know he was dying. So his relationship with me is so different from my brother. Plus my brother's the boy, firstborn, whole other thing. So anyway, so that started me on a quest of reading. And I needed to understand. We even had a pastor that turned out to be a creep. I mean, I really, you know, I told my mom once, we're going to stop telling this story because it's defining us. It is keeping us stuck. And you know, when we really stopped talking about it, our lives changed. So I want to share, but I also want to move on with my story, right? I want new stories. Thank God for myself. If people don't have a sense of humor about themselves, I fear for you because it saved my life. That's my superpower, is my humor. And oh my God, I was just reading anything I get my hands on. And so I have this, you know, in Beverly and I would laugh. I'm like, okay, I've been reading about meditation my whole life. Why am I not meditate? But that doesn't equal meditation. So that's what I'm working on, taking all this stuff I learned and actually bringing it to real time, real tools, and start using the tools. What am I afraid of? Is it a fear? What is it? I don't know. That's to be explored, but you guys, so just a little bit about me. But you know, I'm so lucky. I've had the most amazing human beings in my life. As hard as I've had things, let me tell you some pure evil in my life, I have had amazing people. And that's how the world works, right? I think it was David McCullough that said, when there's a terrible story, look for the helpers, look for the angels, look for the people doing good. Because that is why the world is still here. It is why the world is still here. So amazing. And now I have all these great souls I've connected with on YouTube, which was such a shock and surprise to me. The support I'm getting and the feedback and the fun, and you know, I really like it, and I want to grow my channel. Obviously, I would love to make money from it to help supplement my income. That I don't know if I don't have much control. I have to put it out and let it go. Never thought I'd get over 100, honestly. And here I am, over 600. And, you know, being myself and not like, oh, this is just Trader Joe's. You know what I mean? I probably would have a lot more followers, but that's just not what I want my experience to be, right? I want it to just be about me and sharing, and sometimes it's that, sometimes it's this. But yeah. All right, guys. So I am so glad you're here. I appreciate it. And if you made it this long, y'all, really, bless you. And yeah. Can I change the subject really quick? I watched this movie called The Lost King, Lostking. Sally Hawkins is in it. She's absolutely one of my favorite actors. She is phenomenal. She was in a movie called Maude, Maude, about the artist Maud Lewis. Parts of it are really grim, but parts of it about the human spirit and art, and she had to create, and she used what she had. And you guys, I can't recommend it enough. But this Lost King was so interesting and good. It's about a woman who became obsessed with Richard III. And, you know, winners change history to make themselves look good and other people look bad. And he'd been vilified, and she didn't believe it. And she started researching. Now, they didn't know where he was buried. The story was he was thrown over a bridge. But she talked to different people, and she figured out that at the time, people loved him, right? He was a well-loved king. I mean, you know, probably feared, but the Shakespeare, you know, how many years later, who wrote the story about him, that's not how he was treated. So she knew he had been buried properly. So she started doing, I don't want to give anything away, y'all, but if you've seen the news, and then about how this university and people like took that away, like took the glory of it. But really at the end of the day, there's a line where King Richard says, you and I know that's enough, right? But the guy who plays King Richard, oh my God, he did such a good job. So interesting. But I think y'all would enjoy it. Not action-packed, y'all, but I just love stuff like that. And I always watch the extras, always. And the extras aren't long, the bonus, so, you know, it's just a little bit about the real woman's story and then a little bit about him in history. And now, of course, I want to deep dive, but I can't. I have too many other things going on. But it was very enjoyable. That's what me and a lot of my friends do. And probably y'all do too. Like, so we'll read a book and it takes place in this city. Then we obsess over that and we start researching this. And, you know, then we'll read, like if I read fiction, then I want to read nonfiction. Or if I'm reading nonfiction, I'm going to read fiction about the area. Anyway, that's just how it is. That's how my brain goes. It's okay. Beverly and I are just like that. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm not deep diving him. I may see what Book of Library has him read a little bit. But he has been, you know, he was seen as like stealing the crown and all this and that. But she worked very hard, and the queen did put him in his, he's back as a king and put him in his, you know, because the Tudor, it's so fascinating because there's so many relatives, but, you know, people steal the crown. Like, it's such nonsense, really. So Henry VIII, or 7th, basically, you know, spread lies and stuff. So not as much later, you know, none of this happens. This is what happens. So none of it is in the lifetime of the people that knew he was a good king, that could defend him, right? It's hundreds of years later, right? Anyway, highly recommend it. Very interesting film. And I was about to get the police on me from the library. I had to return it. So next, I think, is A Man Called Otto. But I'm going to do some, you know, I don't want to just mindlessly watch YouTube unless it's really good, y'all. It's a long one. So if you made it this far, put something in the comments. Like, what could we do? I don't know. Put a heart in the comment. That'd be awesome. It's just nice to know. And yeah, so thank you guys. I'm going to get busy because it is now 8:30. I got to be ready to go to work at 11:30. 3 hours to do some art, y'all, and eat. Time to eat. All right, guys, take care. I appreciate you so much. Liking, subscribing. Let me know where you're from. I guess someone's from Laos. I'm getting all these fun, interesting people all over. Well, I have a few. Well, I have some in Canada. My Canadian people, thank you. And that they're like Americans, really. But just, you know, we won't even discuss what's happening in this country. I do art, right? And I be kind to people. And I share, and I think that is the most radical thing you can do right now. Yelling about, I believe this and you're wrong and all nonsense. Do kind things for people. That is how the world runs. That's why the world is amazing and always will be, because people are helping people. So thank you guys for helping me. I appreciate it. And I will see you soon. Yeah, I'll check in today. And then I'll go to work and I won't have as much time, but I'm off today. I'll check in. All right.